All right, we got the K's moved, the garage open, because we are about to receive something new. It's not that Porsche, it's behind it. We'll see in a minute. So here is one of our most unusual vehicles to date. This is a 1986 Honda CBR 250F. Let me show you guys the odometer here, because this is important, with a mere 3.3 kilometers on this. This was found in a crate in Japan, and we bought it and brought it over to the US, but unfortunately enough, the shipping company that put this in a container did not strap it down properly, so the bike was dropped. There's a nice crack here. The handlebar weights were scuffed, and there's a nice big chip here on the fender. So we're gonna have this repainted, we're gonna have the cowl replaced, and then we're gonna have the handlebar weights repainted, and then we're gonna get this whole thing tuned up, because I don't know about you, but a 40-year-old bike that hasn't been broken in yet is definitely something that we're going to need to see, witness, and experience. So it's been sitting here all winter, but now we're going to send it off and do the thing and make this thing absolutely purr and rip for the summer. So can't wait to see it. Fortunately, with the help of Obsolete Performance out of Connecticut, we have sourced a set of mirrors, because when they busted this thing out of the crate, it didn't have a set of mirrors with it. We also sourced a set of handlebar weights and the new cowl. So this whole cowl was the only piece that we could find that had the windscreen on it that was still in good condition. So we are going to get that off of there onto the bike and then detailed up and polished so it looks just about new. But this box of parts was hugely successful, and I cannot wait to see all of this finished on the bike, because man, oh man, it is an absolute unit. All right, there you go, strapped in nice and tight. I wish they had done this in Japan, where it's strapped down so tight that it ain't going nowhere. But you know what? That's okay. We can fix it. We can make it better than it was, and I just can't wait to see it. Because again, this is a 40-year-old brand new bike, and this one's going to be bombing around Milwaukee properly, hopefully in a couple of weeks' time. And look at this red line at 17,000. All right, so we'll do a full walkthrough with this bike when it's back in awesome, but for right now, we're going to say toodaloo to this guy, and we'll see you soon. She's back from our mechanic, and let me tell you this, when's the last time your mechanic thanked you for bringing a vehicle in? Because that is exactly what happened with this, and I am just over the moon to see the cowl completely healed of its ills. And then this fender has been completely repainted with OEM Honda paint, and the thing just reflects everything perfectly. Truly amazing. Just one of the coolest bikes around, and he knew it. Like, when he saw that, he realized very quickly that this was something special. All the various bike buddies were over taking pictures of it. In fact, he took a picture of this so he could put it up in his workshop. He cleared the workshop, put towels and plastic down, because he didn't want anything to go wrong with this, and it shows. But now, we're getting it detailed. And the best part is, the detail is coming out of the back of our stage. So our stage is back in the driveway, and it's detailed the bike. This is one of the coolest things that where life comes full circle, and I'm all for it. So let's get this thing cleaned up and delivered to its forever home. Okay, now that all the craziness is settled and we're back outside with just us in this magnificent bike, what exactly is it? This is a Honda CBR 250F. This was made in the 1986 model year. It continued into 1987. Versions of this bike continued to be manufactured all the way up until 2000, but this is one of the most iconic bikes of the era. In fact, if you go ahead and search this bike online, chances are you're going to find an image exactly like this one right here. So one of the really cool things about this bike is it comes from an era where sport bike racing was super popular in Japan. Now, we are used to certain sizes and displacement of engines, but for Japan, the most popular size at the time was 400cc. Because Japan is smaller. I mean, again, we use things like this in Japan. So 250cc actually made this bike more approachable to the masses and made it easier for the average person to own. In fact, when they put this out, they had expected about 28,000 units of this bike would be sold, and they were extraordinarily right about that. Because first of all, look at this thing. The absolute style just drips off of this thing. Now, the cool thing about this bike in general is they actually made two colors of this bike. This one is the black and red. This one accounted for about 26% of the total run, whereas the blue and white was the more popular one. So this is actually the rarer color, and it's very difficult to see why, because this white on red on black is just spectacular all the way around. And as I'd mentioned earlier, this is a brand new bike. Again, with all the rolling that we've been doing on this, it is up to 3.5 kilometers, but there is less than 2 kilometers of travel time on this bike. Between the red seat and everything else about the looks of this thing, it's spectacular. I mean, so many people have told me the exact same thing, which is we are never going to find another bike like this pristine ever again. And it's kind of easy to see why, just because when's the last time you saw a 40-year-old bike that was brand new, that was this obtainable? I mean, heck, it still has the original plastic around the springs and the kickstand. Not to mention, these tires still have chalk marks on them, and they're brand new from 40 years ago. I mean, there is a little bit of dry rotting in there, as you can see, but at the same time, everything about this bike is brand new. This is, for all intents and purposes, exactly how it was seen on the lot in 1986. But the crazy thing is this bike never saw a lot until 2025 because it sat in a wooden box until that point. So, let's talk a little bit more about what makes this bike tick. We have a dual overhead cam 4-cylinder that's liquid cooled, that has a 6-speed manual transmission. So this bike, even though the displacement is relatively small, is something that is going to be an absolute hoot and a half to drive. And man, oh man, this thing sounds outstanding when it starts up and starts revving. Besides, there's just something so incredibly exciting about being mounted on a sport bike with a 17K red line banging through 6 speeds. Man, oh man, there is no part of this that isn't absolutely joyous fun. But all right, everybody, thanks for joining me with this one. Thanks for checking out this exceptional JDM bike. If you want your own JDM bike, let me know. I'm more than happy to track these down and get them over here. And stay tuned, because up next, we've got a couple of really cool videos coming up. We've got Where Are They Now Part 3. We have our 100th vehicle retrospective to check out, and we've got one of our own vehicles that we featured on the channel not too long ago, back in March, I want to say, that has been completely transformed, and I cannot wait to show it to you. So stay tuned, lots ahead. All right, thanks everyone.